I'm 680 News senior business editor Mike Eppel. The relative calm that we've seen for weeks, if not months now, on the stock markets for 2019, shaken today by a pair of Trump tweets on trade. The U.S. president busy on Twitter over the weekend talking about the stalled U.S. China trade talks, growing frustrated that Chinese delegates are not coming to Washington to finalize a deal. The U.S. president threatening to ratchet up tariffs on over $200 billion worth of Chinese exports to a 25% tariff level as soon as this Friday. That talk about an escalation now in the trade battle between the U.S. and China took the markets sharply lower early on, with the Dow dropping by more than 400 points. Up until recently, or at least today, the markets were convinced that the trade negotiations were going well and that some of these tariffs could soon be removed. Analysts are saying it could just be a trade tactic by Trump. We'll see where it goes. Air Canada posted a surprise first quarter profit, $17 million in operating earnings, over $300 million in net profit, helped out by the currency valuations between the Canadian and U.S. dollars. Overall, though, the fact that Air Canada had a profit was a surprise to analysts because the airline grounded or canceled 8,000 flights in the first 3 months of this year due to weather, bad winter weather, and as well the grounding of those 737 Boeing MAX jets in the aircraft's and the airline's livery. And Air Canada said today it does not know when it can give guidance about earnings until it knows when those planes will be back in the skies and recertified. The Boeing company, according to reports today, knew upwards of more than a year before the first of two fatal crashes of the 737 MAX jets that there was a software issue with the so-called MCAS automated flight control system, and they didn't tell the airlines that a standard warning light was not standard on the new planes. More scrutiny about who knew what when and federal regulation oversight taking Boeing stock down today by more than 2%. While Toronto's housing market had a spring in its step for the month of April, the springtime sales season is underway, and numbers from the Toronto Real Estate Board for last month showing improvement, up to more than 9,000 real estate transactions in the 416 and 905 for April. That was up 17%, albeit from last year's relatively low numbers as the market continues to adjust to the mortgage rule stress test, which has forced some buyers to the sidelines. The average price of a home in the city up by close to 2% for the month. And the Hudsons Bay company is looking to further streamline its operations. The retailer announced today it's putting the Lord & Taylor retail brand on the auction block, saying that brand is potentially up for sale or perhaps a merger with another retail operation. HBC saying that's going to be in the best interest of the HBC's long-term interests. Bay shares down slightly in reaction. From the 680 newsroom, I'm Mike Eppel for City News.